Okay, this is gonna be the tutorial for how to add words to your image using the Photoshop. Now, the way you add your words is it's pretty easy, but it can also get a little bit complex because you have a lot of different options when adding words to your image. So I'm just gonna be adding words to this image that I'm gonna put on here. But this is a tutorial for both my computer graphics and my photography classes. You guys are doing like using your quotes in like different ways, but basically all you do is you're gonna go to your toolbar and you want to click on the text tool or the type tool, the horizontal type tool. By default, it's going to give you the horizontal one, but if you click and hold your mouse button, you have different options. Horizontal is going to give you a left and right type tool. This is going to give you an up and down. Alright, so it's up to you how you want to arrange your text. I'm just going to do the horizontal because that's pretty easy to do. And these other ones that are type masks, don't mess with those. Basically, as you know, the layer masks, those help to erase certain parts. So if you want to do like a mask, you can use those, but you don't need it for this. But alright, so you're just gonna click on this, then you're gonna click on your image, and then you're gonna have like the freedom to type what you want. So I'm just gonna think of a quote for this image for photography class. You guys, I want you to do like a practice with wording, putting words on the image. So I want you guys to think, creatively think of a quote for these images. So I'm just gonna make up a quote here, but up here is gonna be your options. Just make sure to set the black so you can actually read what it says. So one person. So I'll just say the quote's gonna be, "You can say that I love to travel." So I'm doing a real simple quote like that, but now you have your image, and you can click on the move tool, and you can move the quote around. Okay, so you have a couple options. You can move it around. Now, if you want to edit the text even further, all you gotta do is just double click on the layer where the text is. Double click on the T. That's going to select it for you, and from up here you can choose the any kind of font that you want. It gives you the fonts. It gives you bold, italics if it has an option for that font, and then it's going to be able to resize it. So it's going to make it bigger. Now if you want to make the fonts even bigger, you're going to have to type it in. So if I wanted like 120, I could make it 120, but I'm going to keep it around 50. I think 50 is pretty good. Sharp. I would just leave that as sharp. And this is your orientation, but you don't really need those things. I rather just manually move it around. All right, so real important. You do want to. Okay, very important. You want to make sure, choose the font that fits appropriately with your image. So, this image is very oriental. At least what I'm thinking when I look at this red here and like the building. So, I'm gonna try to find something that looks a little bit elegant. So, there's a lot of different types of fonts you can choose. I'm gonna try to find one that looks a little bit more like a cursive like. I think this is pretty good here, but there's a lot of different types of cursives. If you want to just mess around with that's not really cursive, but I just scroll down to look for fonts that go with your image. So I think this is pretty good. I might need to make it a little bit bigger now. Alright, so this is pretty good. Now, this font's a little bit dark, so there are ways you can edit the look of the font. I'm actually going to edit the colors a little bit more. So double clicking here, I'm going to go with the purple, just so I have a complementary to this yellow here. So I'm going to go with this purple here. It's really dark. So the way we're going to edit the fonts even more is you can actually add effects to it. If you go to your layers window, right click on the actual the layer. So make sure you right click on the T. You can click on blending options. And from blending options, you have a lot of different options to choose. The ones that I like using is I like using the stroke here. So you click on the check, then you click on the tab, but you can change the color of your stroke. So maybe I want to make it match that kind of like goldish yellow that's around here. We'll click OK, and then you can change the size of it too. I'm actually gonna keep it pretty small though, not that big, but. So this pops out a little bit more when I look at that image. You can make it fade out too if you think it's too strong. You can also do, I like using the outer glow too, so maybe I might want to push that, that glow effect even further. I'm going to try and match that same color. And I'm going to click on the size. And it's going to create like more of a glow around the edges. And the spread's going to make it, a little bit brighter. So then the image, so it's popping out more. You just gotta play around with it, find what you want to use. What does drop shadow do? Oh, drop shadow would make like an actual shadow like behind it if you wanted to do that. So you can do like a drop shadow, you can control the angle it's coming at. So there's a lot of different things. I might not use the drop shadow. So create a pattern in your thing. Gradient's pretty cool to do too. If you want to use one of those gradients we used earlier before, you can use that. So there's a lot of different things you can play around with. You can also move the gradient around too if you want it more darker. And then inner glow. If you have like big, like bold letters, then the inner glow would look, and make a glow on the inside. But bevel, that makes it more three-dimensional. You probably can't see it from here, but if I zoom in, basically the bezel makes it look more three-dimensional. You can control it even further. It's just a lot of things you can play around with. I think this looks pretty good. So I'm gonna click OK. And then your effects are gonna show up here, so you want to turn them all off. You can.